Hello everyone, we are officially on unit test day. So after this video, you are going to have a longer test worth a little bit more. It is going to cover day 5 through day 9. So make sure you have those notes out. Any previous quizzes that you have, you could also take out. What we're doing today, our learning targets are really the same. So our learning targets, our students will divide polynomials. We already saw that. So we're still going to be using division, long division. Students will factor polynomials using division, and students will learn and apply the polynomial remainder theorem. We are actually going to scratch this one out. We are not going to do this today in order to give you time for your test. But if you look here at this first problem, it looks a lot like what we did yesterday. Okay, so let me get this a little bit clearer. Looks a lot like what we did yesterday, where we have 2x to the third minus 11x squared plus 25. Fraction bar, x minus 5. Remembering this fraction bar means division. And when I have multiple terms on top and bottom like that, I'm going to have to, again, use my long division skills. So what's going to go in the bottom is going to go outside. What you'll notice here is now we have some coefficients in front. Yesterday, each time you did this, it was just x squared. Now we have 2x to the third, so it's going to be a little bit longer. So looking through this, I have 2x cubed minus 11x squared plus 25. So I notice there's a term in there that's missing. I have 2x cubed minus 11x squared, and then jump straight to no variable plus 25. Remember, I have to fill this in and say just plain old 0x then. If it skips over that, if it goes from x squared to no x's, we have to put that 0x on our own. So 2x cubed minus 11x squared plus 0x plus 25. One thing I also want to mention, if you want to do this a little bit quicker, you guys have all the skills you need to do this. If you want to pause this video right now and just fast forward and check if you get the correct answers, that's totally up to you. There's nothing on here that you guys wouldn't already know what to do. It's just going to be a little bit longer or more complex of problems. So again, I'm always looking at this front term and this front term and saying, how would I go from x to 2x cubed? So x, just a single 1 to 2 would get me 2. And to go from just x to the first to x to the third, I would have to multiply by x squared. Now this is my step where I multiply. And I am literally multiplying this term to everything here. So 2x squared times 5 is going to be 2x cubed. And 2x squared times negative 5 is going to be negative 10x squared. Drawing my line, I am subtracting. A lot of us are skipping over showing this and then getting the wrong number at the end. So 2x cubed minus 2x cubed is 0. I could write 0, I don't have to. Negative 11x squared minus negative 10x squared. So this minus and negative will become plus. So negative 11 plus 10 would leave me with negative 1x squared. I will bring down my 0x. And now I'm focusing on this term right here. Again, if it helps you to underline what we're focusing on, do that. But how would I go from x to negative x squared? Well, to go from positive to negative, I'm going to have to multiply by a negative. And x to x squared is going to be just x. And now I'll use a different color. Now I'm distributing this to everything out here. I didn't show these marks yesterday, but if it's helping us, that's what I'm going to get in this parenthesis right here. Negative x times x is going to be negative x squared. Negative x times negative 5 is going to be positive 5x. Draw my line and subtract. Negative x squared minus negative x squared is 0. 0 minus 5x is negative 5x. And I will drop down that 25, which is positive. Going from here, x times what is going to be negative 5x. So again, underlining, this is where my focus is at in order to find a number up here. So x times negative 5. And then last little showing of distributive property, I'm going to take this and multiply it to those things in front, and that's what's going to go in these green parentheses. So negative 5 times x, negative 5x. Negative 5 times negative 5 is positive 25. Subtracting negative 5x minus negative 5x is 0. 25 minus 25 is also 0. So my answer is what's up here. My answer is 2x squared minus x minus 5, remainder 0. There we go. Okay. So again, if you want to, if you feel good about that one, you don't need to keep watching this entire video. You could try it on your own, then come back. So on this next one, I'll go ahead and do my 2x. Oops, this is definitely supposed to be 2x cubed. That is a typo. Please correct that. That is 2x cubed minus x squared minus 25x minus 12, dividing by x plus 3. X times 2x squared, filling in. Distributing this, I will get 2x cubed and 6x squared. Subtract that, I get 0. Negative x squared minus 6x squared is negative 7x squared. And I bring down my negative 25. Oh no, sorry about that. Phone fell out of the mount. So from right there, bring down my negative 25x. Okay, let me adjust this real quick. Okay, perfect. And then x times negative x squared is going to be negative 7x. I will distribute this guy to everything in front. So in those parentheses, negative 7x times x is negative 7x squared. Negative 7x times 3 is minus 21x. And I'm subtracting all of that. Negative 7 minus negative 7. So double negative turns into a positive. I get 0 there. Negative 25x minus, so showing this scratch work, negative 25x minus negative 21x. This right here will turn into a plus, which means I get negative 4x. I drop down that negative 12. Now I'm focusing here, x times what is negative 4x, and that would be negative 4. So distributing this to everything in front, that leaves me with negative 4x minus 12. Subtract all that. When it's identical on top and bottom, same this minus its same identical twin, everything cancels out. So my answer over here is up top. I get 2x squared minus 7x minus 4, remainder of 0. Okay. Last full long division I'm going to do with you. We have one more. Again, if you feel confident, pause it and just try it on your own. But I'm going to move over here so I have room. I get 5x to the third minus 22x squared minus 17x plus 11, all divided by x minus 5. Focusing x times 5x squared is this guy. Then distribute down here to get what goes in these pink parentheses. That is 5x cubed. And that is minus 25x squared. Subtract it all. 5x cubed minus 5x cubed is 0. Negative 22 minus negative 25. Negative 22 minus a negative means plus. So I will get positive 3x squared. And I'll drop down that negative 17. X times what is 3x squared? That is 3x. So distribute this guy to that and that. Leaves me with 3x squared minus 15x. Subtracting all of that. So always pay attention to those double negatives. 3x squared minus 3x squared is 0. Negative 17x minus negative 15x, that is negative 2x. Bring down my 11. Lastly, x times what is -2? My answer is -2. And then so lastly, I'm going to distribute this number to all that's in front over here. And that leaves me with -2 times x. -2 times -5 is +10. And I am subtracting. Kind of running out of room, but -2x minus -2x cancels. 11 minus 10 is 1. So I actually have a remainder this time. So I'm going to say my answer is 5x squared plus 3x minus 2, +1 over x minus 5. Okay. So we're same long division as yesterday. We're just starting with higher powers. So it's going to take us a little bit longer to get to our answer. There is one for you to try on your own. And sorry, this is also going to be a you try right here. So you have 2 to do on your own today. And I have 1 more to do for you. So you're going to try this one right here. Paying attention, the fact that it says x cubed, x squared, minus 5x. I got to add that 0 on the end to have a plain old number. Whenever I skip a term, I got to add it in with a 0. And then number 1 on the second part, talking about remainders. It says, what is the remainder when 2x to the 4th minus x to the 3rd plus 2x squared minus 6 equals 0 when divided by x minus 2? So basically, this isn't shown as a fraction, but this is another way of saying 2x to the 4th minus x to the 3rd plus 2x squared minus 6 all over x minus 2. So I could write it as a fraction, or another way of showing division is actually having long division with x minus 2 on the outside, 2x to the 4th, so I have to the 4th, to the 3rd, to the x squared. Ran into something. I do not have a plain old x here. So I have to put plus 0x minus 6. So definitely a longer problem, starting all the way up with to the power of 4. So focusing here and here, x times blank is 2x to the 4th. Well, that would be 2x to the 3rd. Just focusing on 2 terms always at a time. I'm just going to focus on these 2. My parentheses will always just have 2. This would give me 2x to the 4th. And 2x cubed minus -2 is -4x cubed. Subtraction, draw my line. These cancel. -x minus negative, so -x plus 4x cubed. So -x plus 4 is 3x cubed. Bring down my 2x squared. X times what is 3x to the 3rd? Well, that would be 3x squared. So in my little parentheses here, I have a feeling I'm going to run out of room. 3x squared times x is 3x cubed. 3x squared times -2 is -6x squared. Subtracting 3x cubed minus 3x cubed is 0. 2x squared minus negative. So that ends up being 8x squared because that double negative turns it into addition. Bring down my 0x. X times what is 8x squared? Well, that would be 8x. So 8x times x is 8x squared. 8x times -2 is -16x. Subtract it. Those cancel. 0 minus -16x is 16x. Bring down my -6. I'm going to go ahead and continue off to the side. I'm going to kind of make a new column. Hopefully you can follow along with me. So next, I'd say what multiplies to this guy right here? X times what is 16x? Well, that would be 16. In my parentheses, 16 times x is 16x. 16 times -2 is -32. Subtract it. -6 minus -32. -6 plus 32. Okay, so again, if you're curious what that looks like, I have a double negative. Oops, there we go. So I have -6 minus -32, and that ends up with 26. And I already dropped down my 6. There's nothing left to drop down. So this right here is my remainder. And I actually don't have to write the entire thing because the directions were only asking for the remainder. Okay? So you have to try number 4 on your own and the second one right here. Pause if you need any help, and best of luck, and then you're gonna go ahead and take your unit test.